Hello again. Today we're going to take a look at multiplying and dividing monomials. So the things we want to remember when we're doing this is basically it's a review of our exponent rules. So again, these are things you've done before. If you're still confused by your exponent rules, you can go back and rewatch that video. But just a brief review of them. When you're multiplying exponents that have the same base, you simply keep that base and you add the exponent. And I gave you an example. If I have an x squared times an x to the third, I add those exponents so I can get x to the fifth. When we're dividing exponents with the same base, we then subtract our exponents and keep the base. So if I have an x to the fifth divided by x to the third, I'm subtracting 3 from 5. 5 minus 3 gives me 2, so my answer is x to the second power. So those are the big things we want to remember when we're multiplying and dividing this. So we're just going to multiply our coefficients, which are the numbers in front of your variable. We're going to multiply our variables using our exponent rules. Okay? So I just have a few examples here for you. This one is multiplication. On the next board, we'll look at division. And again, remember, you'll notice I'm no longer using the x for multiplication. Why? Well, because you'll notice we're using a whole bunch of x's as variables. So we're getting away from using this times sign. We want to use either the dot or parentheses to show that we're multiplying. So here, again, start with your coefficients. So just look at the numbers. Negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. Now remember, x times x. Remember that there's an implied 1 in each of those. 1 plus 1 gives me 2, or x to the second power, or x squared. So that's what you want to keep in mind. Nice and simple. Just multiply your numbers, multiply your variables using your exponent rules. Here I have 6x times 3x. So again, 6 times 3 gives me 18. Again, remember we have those implied 1s. 1 and 1 is 2. X to the second power. Okay. So up here, I have negative 2y and 3y to the fourth. So negative 2 and 3 is going to give me a negative 6. Y to the fourth times y, again, remember, implied 1 to the first. 4 and 1 is 5, so negative 6 y to the fifth power. Here you'll notice I'm just dealing with variables. Don't let this negative in the front confuse you. Basically, I'm just saying negative 1. A negative times a positive means my answer is a negative. So remember, implied 1. M to the first times m to the fifth gives me m to the sixth. Some kids try to take this negative and to change it to the exponent or think it means subtraction. Just remember your multiplication rules. A negative times a positive gives me a negative answer. That's all that means. I'm not looking at that when I'm combining my exponents because they weren't negative. You can have a negative exponent, but that's not the case here. So just keep that in mind. Move on to our division ones. So again, you'll notice I'm writing division in fraction form. It's just a little easier. So again, I draw little lines sometimes. We're going to look at our coefficients. We're going to divide our numbers. Then we're going to divide our variables using our exponent rules. 12 divided by 4 leaves me with 3. So I have an x squared divided by an x. So again, remember there's an implied 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. So I'm left with 3x. Same thing here. So let's divide 8 by 4. I get a 2. X squared divided by x to the first is x. 59 divided by 59 gives me a 1. We don't really need to write this one because when I say I have 1r, I can just write r. So basically, that kind of cancels out. If you want to write the 1 here, you can. R cubed minus r to the first is r squared. So 1r squared, I would just write r squared. You don't need that 1 in front of it. Okay. Last one, again, just take a look at your numbers. What's 100 divided by 10? It's 10. What's p to the fourth divided by p to the second? Subtract our exponents, keep our base. I'm left with p to the second. So nothing too terribly difficult. It really is just a review of the rules that we've already done. These are going to build up as we move on in polynomials, and you'll get to do some more complex things. Again, if you have any questions, you can go back, you can rewatch this video, you can rewatch some of the other videos, and you know where to ask questions. Have a good one, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.